What if you want to find a niche?
I know. I paused on that. I was like, niche.
Which
I don't
do
know.
we say?
I don't know. We'll go back and forth because
What is the perfect bite? That mix of flavors, textures, colors, and aromas that come together in one amazing amuse-bouche. Big ideas expressed in small bites. That's our podcast, a variety of inspiring topics to make your financial goals and dreams a reality.
Brought to you by Clark County Credit Union for your weekly serving of food reviews, financial education, and life hacks that your future self will appreciate. It's the perfect bite of interesting information to start your week. Welcome to episode 97 of The Perfect Bite. I'm Crystal Price.
And I'm Shannon Hiller. Let's dig in. We love trying new dishes here at The Perfect Bite, and today we're visiting Weera Thai Kitchen and Bar. Next, we'll talk about money management lessons for your peak earning years. And finally, we'll share how to find your niche in 5 steps.
Each week on The Perfect Bite, we'll visit a locally owned Southern Nevada restaurant that we hope will become your new favorite. This week, we're sharing a new find, Weera Thai Kitchen and Bar. So they are located, they have several locations in town, actually. The one that I went to is in Chinatown. They were originally from Isan, which is the northeast part of Thailand, which is really cool. They started a restaurant out there, and it was called Weera Larb Ped.
Part of larb, but not.
I've never heard of larb until I was doing this session. I was like, what the heck is larb?
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah. So that was like one of their signature meals, the larb. It's like a ground chicken. In 2010, part of the family that was in Thailand decided to branch out to Las Vegas. And so they started a more modern version of the Weera product or restaurant, and they opened up Weera Thai restaurant. And since then, it's become named Best of Las Vegas, several news station stories that have featured them, several broadcasts, and they've even had a proclamation from Mayor Goodman, which is pretty cool. So lots of attention. Like I mentioned, they have several locations in town. They have 4 actually. And one of them specializes in seafood. So if you're looking for seafood specifically, you can check out one of their locations. One that I went to in Chinatown is in the Shanghai Plaza. I don't know if you've ever been in there, Shannon.
Is that the one, if I'm driving up Spring Mountain from the freeway, is it on the left or the right?
It's on the right.
Okay.
From the freeway, yeah.
I think, yes. There's a couple restaurants that I've been in there.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Has like that. You drive through like the arch.
Yes.
The arch, okay.
Yep, that is it. This was my first time actually going into that plaza. I've always driven past, there. But there's a ton back there, and it's always super packed in there. When I got there, it was a weekend that I went, and so it was actually graduation weekend. So I think there was like a lot of kids out there. I got there at the perfect time. I was able to pull in, got a front spot. However, a lot of the restaurants were super packed. I didn't have any plans. I was like, I'm just going to go grab food. Like, no problem, right? No, there was a problem because most places you needed a reservation. But luckily, I was able to wander into Weera Thai, and it was me alone. So they were like, oh, yeah, we can seat you. It's like one seat singular
you
back
like
there.
20 people like everybody else.
Exactly. So I was able to go and sit down in there. And what I ordered was from one of their menus it was like chef's specialties or something. And it was called the Pad CU. And I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly, so I apologize. But anyways, what it is a flat white noodle with broccoli, carrots, cabbage, and bean sprouts. And then I added a protein, which was shrimp. Super delicious. And they have a heat scale. Like usually when I go to Thai places, it's like a 1 through 10. This place is a 1 through 5. So I was like, okay, well, let me do a 2.
So is that like a 4 on a 10 scale though? Because you're like,
well, and so this is the thing. Okay, so I set a 2, thinking, okay, that's closer to 1, less heat, right? Just like a little bit, but it was very hot. So I'm like, did I do it in reverse somehow? I ate the food because I didn't want to seem like a wimp. I felt like the lady when I told her a 2, she was like, a 2, and I was like, yeah, 2. She was like, a 2, and so like I doubted myself, and it was very hot, but I pushed through. Very delicious. The meal itself was $14.95, so it wasn't anything crazy. I think it was very affordable. Yeah, it was very, very good. You could tell that they prided themselves in the meals. The servers and everybody were very involved with everybody sitting there. And I don't know if it was because it was me by myself. They were like extra and involved in my my comfort. Is everything okay? Do you like it? And when I finished,
They knew you were a food critic. You were by yourself in there.
Possibly. They maybe thought I was, because I was, in there taking photos and doing all the jazz. So you'll be able to see the photo on our social media pages. But yeah, they were very concerned with whether or not I liked it. I did not finish everything. And because it was graduation, I was with my kids. I didn't take my food to go. And so when I had some food on my plate and they were like, you don't want it to go? And I'm like, no. Was everything okay? I was like, yeah, everything was great. I'm not going home. So, but yeah, it was a very nice experience. They checked on me multiple times, and they did check on the other patrons. I will say that I saw them coming throughout, refilling waters and things like that. The atmosphere inside was super cool. They had a wall of, have you ever seen those paper flowers that are really jumbo and they'll have like a picture wall? It was like that, but I don't think it was paper. It looked like a much sturdier material. And then there were lanterns hanging up above. When I was looking at the website, it looked like they wanted to have kind of like a Thai street cuisine kind of feel. And that's what it kind of felt like. I was like wandering the streets of Thailand, I could only imagine. And yeah, it was very, very decorative, very pretty, nice environment. When I go back, I think what I'll order are their spring rolls, which is kind of basic, but it's been a while since I've had the spring rolls that are wrapped in that clear like rice paper. And I just remember, having those in the past, and they were super good. So I was like, I just want to go back and I just want to experience that again.
It's a good summer thing. Like it's just refreshing and usually they have like herbs in them. And
it's a nice little crunch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I want to order when I go back. My recommendation for you when you try to go to Weera Thai is remember that Shanghai Plaza is busy. So plan ahead for parking. By the time I finished my meal and I was ready to leave, there were multiple cars circling. 2 cars actually on the left and the right side of me were like eyeballing my spot, waiting for me to pull out. So
Don't fight over the spot.
Plan for parking. If you have a recommendation or a restaurant or a dish for us to try here at The Perfect Bite, send us a message at ThePerfectBite@ccculv.com. We're always open to new ideas. Up next, Shannon's sharing how you can take control of your finances and hone in your money management strategies during your peak earning years.
So in your 40s and 50s, which we may or may not be in right now ourselves, are known as your peak earning years. So these are the years in which you'll see all the hard work you put in during your 20s and 30s, finally, getting the benefit of that. And we're earning more than we've ever earned before. So what do you do with that money now that we're actually, earning that potential and doing better? So we're sharing some money management lessons to make the most of this time of your life from the Association of Mature American Citizens, which why am I not a member already of this?
I feel like we should join.
I haven't gotten my AARP stuff yet, so that's probably good. But so the first one is taking advantage of the power of compounding interest, which we've talked about this before. Starting early with investing can really impact your long-term investment growth, but at this time of your life, you're finally kind of seeing the impact of that compounding effect. So, and if you hadn't started early, start now anyway, because you're still young. You're probably going to have a lot more earning years ahead of you. Just put the power of compounding interest to work for you. The second is diversification strategies. So maybe you've only been doing, investments in one area, or maybe you've only been doing a 401k, which we'll talk about later. Try to diversify and start to explore other areas to get the benefits of spreading out those investments. You could even look at other geographic regions or different types of industries, because as the market fluctuates, maybe one industry is going to get hit worse. And then you're like, I'm okay. I'm over here in, tech and retail and travel and wherever. So number 3, as I mentioned, retirement account contribution. So it's so important to maximize those contributions. I would say at this point, we need to start maxing out whatever we can, especially if you have a match. And really, you're getting closer to that retirement age, and you got to start thinking about what kind of a lifestyle do I want to have in retirement? And then also have that safety net for unexpected expenses. So really start to think about, what does my retirement look like? Number 4, employer matches. So really, we've said it so many times, like, do not leave that money on the table if you have an employer match. And so it's really important to take advantage of that, put in as much as you can. And I feel like when there's a match, I behave differently. Like, do you feel like in your time, if you were to invest differently, like if there's a match or not a match, like
Yeah, I mean,
it changes
it's
your
free
behavior,
money.
right?
It's kind of like the interest in like your savings account. Like if I know I'm going to earn money in my savings account that's earning, let's just say 3%, like, of course I'm going to put more of my money in that savings account versus my checking account. And so it's the same thing with that employer match. If I know I'm going to get free money, I'm going to throw more money in there.
Right. So we change our behavior to take advantage of those opportunities. Yeah. So just try to see if you have, my husband is working at a place right now that he was told one thing about his 401k and then it's not actually true. There isn't a match. It's all your own money. And I'm just thinking, we are in those peak earning years. And if we're not getting the match, that's just.
Yeah. Where else should we be putting our money?
Right. It's kind of a, change of expectations too. If we thought we would have that match. So anyway, that's another story for another day. Number 5, brokerage account. So having a brokerage account for retirement can really expand those investment opportunities and give you more flexibility. You also can have potential tax advantages like capital gains treatment. And so I think that leads to my next point, which is portfolio management. Sometimes you just need a professional to get involved. I think maybe in your younger years, you're like, oh, I'll dabble. I'll try these different apps where I can invest and put money aside. And maybe, I'll just put money into my 401k. But at some point, it is advantageous to sit down with a professional, which we do have here at Clark County Credit Union. We have our investment center, and they can meet with you for free, help you get started, and even, either continue or give you suggestions for changing and guiding you through your investment strategy. Like, maybe I'm doing this, but I had no idea I could have this other option. And so I think it's good to get started with somebody.
And I liked the thing too. We had Scott on from our investment center, I don't know, like 50 episodes ago. But one thing that he mentioned was like any kind of life event is a time to come and see him. And that was something that I never even thought of. So like, when you're about to get married, when you're about to have a kid, because all of these things adjust your financial status or what you're doing at that moment. So when you're earning peak money, during this time, that's another time. Are you earning more money at your job? Come see the financial advisor and get some advice on how to better make your money work for you.
Yeah, that's a good reminder because I feel like, especially adding kids or maybe they're graduating from high school or college, like that changes things and how your money is being allocated. So we'll link to the article here from the AMAC and learn more about how to take advantage of your peak earning years. Let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsor.
CCCU has a bonus for you. High five! It's 5% interest on a bonus checking account, only available at Clark County Credit Union. That's 5% on your money, and it's just one more benefit of membership at Clark County Credit Union. Isn't it time for you to join? Anyone can be a member, because if somebody's making money off your checking account, shouldn't it be you? Open a bonus checking account today and start earning your 5%, only at CCCU. Funds privately insured by American Share Insurance.
Next up is our Future Self segment inspired by the Happiness Project. Do you want to earn income online but you aren't sure where to start? Today we're sharing a 5-step formula to finding a niche that may help you earn extra funds so you can feel passionate about it and get some extra money.
What if you want to find a niche?
I know. I paused on that. I was like, niche?
Which
I don't
do
know.
we say?
I don't know. We'll go back and forth because for whichever way you want it.
Potato.
I always say niche, but then I hear some people say niche. So I'm like, I don't know. Well, what you want.
You do you. Okay, it's fine.
What you want to first do is you want to evaluate your passion and your skills. So choose your niche that you know that you can sustain and be passionate about it for at least 5 years. So if you find, like, let's just say I'm looking online and I'm like, oh, I can write children's books. Well, this is just something that has popped up. Can I realistically, write children's books for 5 years? I don't know. I don't know if that's my passion. So maybe choose something else that you've maybe been interested in for longer than that scrolling time, something that you've been interested in for several years that you think you could continue to be interested in. That would be a passion that may be your niche.
That's a hard question because 5 years is
a long time.
Could change in 5 years. So yeah, but that's a good exercise just to think through.
Yeah.
Would I be interested?
Don't jump on it.
Yeah.
Don't jump on it. Think on it for a moment. And this could be a hobby. So something that you do in your free time, something that you've done in the past. What's something that you could do and maybe you're not going to be getting paid for it and you wouldn't mind doing it. That's another way to kind of evaluate what that passion may be.
This makes me think of a friend that was really good at gardening in Las Vegas, which is hard to do. And I'm a person that kills every plant that I ever grow. The idea was they were doing small container gardening in their backyard. They had raised beds and different containers. And it turned into a class that they were offering people because everybody was like, how are you doing this? And
I'm interested.
Yeah, people were just asking them so many questions that they thought, I should put together my best ideas, and it sort of just morphed from there. So it's like, what are you doing that maybe people are like, hey, how do you do that? Asking questions that might give you a clue of what your niche is.
I like it. Next thing you want to do is figure out if there's a market for your niche. So are people actually willing to pay? Your friend, there were people asking the question, so yes, there was a market for it. If your thing is a little bit more obscure, maybe there isn't enough interest in it. So maybe you want to do a little bit more research and verify first that there is an actual need for it before you dive further into it. Next, you want to narrow down your niche. One of the best ways to narrow down your options is to check out related forums like Facebook groups or subreddits. You can also use AI like ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot or even a Google search now just to compare and see, what are people searching in regards to that topic? Is there a lot of search results or is there very few? That will help you as well. On Reddit, you can actually use a tool called Reddit List to see which subtopics or sub-niches you might want to pursue. So that's another option as well, and see if there's some, if you can dive deeper into whatever that topic or that passion item is. And then finally, you want to see what potential competitors are doing. This is something that I actually thought of recently for my sister. She was scrolling and was like, oh, we can start a cookbook and we can do healthy eating for this or whatever, and we can sell it on Amazon. And I'm like, that sounds great, but let's just check and see how many other people are selling, these online self-published books on Amazon. And it was like thousands. So it's like, you want to see who are your potential competitors? Are you going to have an opportunity to kind of squeeze in there and stand out? Is your idea unique enough to stand out? So you want to check out those things because the market can possibly be oversaturated with other people. If there's a low demand, then great. You might be able to sneak in there and really stand out and shine, and your business will be able to thrive. Finally, you want to test out your niche. These steps are just a great place to start and hopefully get your creative juices flowing. We want to hear from you. Send us your financial questions or money topics that you'd like to learn more about, and don't forget any fun local food recommendations. Our email is ThePerfectBite@CCCULV.com.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode brought to you by Clark County Credit Union. For additional money management tips and financial calculators, check out our website at ccculv.org. Now that was The Perfect Bite.